Fish keeping for beginners part 3. What kind of filter should you use in your aquarium? Hello and welcome again to the hobby of aquarium and fish keeping, and I am Richard and this is Fish in Nature. Last time we talked about the size of aquarium that you should buy and the equipments that you should need. If you haven't already watched that, I'll put the link here. So now let's talk about what kind of filter should you use in your aquarium. As we said last time, having a good filtration and a thermometer in your aquarium is already enough for you to be able to successfully keep your fish alive. Just make sure that your filter and aquarium is already cycled before adding fish and you are doing proper maintenance. So for what cycled means, we will be doing a different video on that next time. So click the notification bell so you will be updated. Sponge filter are the cheapest and the simplest kind of filter in this hobby. You can use them for 2.5 gallons up to 35 gallons. Yes, there are big sponge filter that can be used in 35 gallons, but I haven't seen bigger than that. Only for 35 gallons. I use it on my 35-gallon aquarium in my store. So, the only problem that I had in sponge filter is it takes up a lot of space in your aquarium. So, if you wanted to have more design, so it is not very appropriate. Just make sure when you have a sponge filter, buy the right size for your aquarium. It may vary depending on your aquarium. If you have a small aquarium, buy a small sponge filter. Top filter can also be used from 2.5 gallons up to 35 gallons aquarium also, just like sponge filter. It is just a much better option between sponge filter and top filter. I'll choose top filter because it has a higher filtration capacity and it is much easier to maintain. You just need to replace the foam on the top of the box. Just make sure that the box of the top filter is also the same as the length of your aquarium. You also have an option if you want to have a bubbles on the outflow side, but you don't want, it's still okay. The fish can still breathe when there is a surface agitation. Now, because of the design of the motor of the top filter, you will have a high water movement because there is a water outflow. You have two outlets there, the one who will go above the filtration box and the one who will push the water. There are fishes who don't want a high water movement in the aquarium, like goldfish and also guppies. So there is an option also to close that output water flow. So the water will only go upwards to the filtration box. Internal filters are not commonly used today. Just like the sponge filter, they takes up a lot of space in your aquarium. They are usually used for small aquarium sizes. If you want a filter that will not take up a lot of space inside your aquarium, you can have a hub filter or hang-on back filter. You can use hub filter for 1 gallon aquarium up to 20 gallons only. I have not seen a bigger hub filter or hang-on back filter that can be used on a 35 gallons. Maybe there is, but here in the Philippines, I have only seen good for 20 gallons aquarium. If you want a hub filter on a 35 gallons aquarium, you can buy 2 big hub filter. Because hang-on back filter will not take a lot of space in your aquarium, it is better to be used on a planted aquarium. Like here, I am using a hub filter in my 15 gallons aquarium. For bigger aquarium, you can use canister filter. Just make sure that the capacity of that filter is at least 4 times higher than the volume of your aquarium that can be processed per hour. Normally, it is in the unit of liters per hour. For example, your aquarium is 90 by 45 by 45 centimeters. When you compute that, the volume of your aquarium is around 182.25 liters. You just need to multiply it by 4, so that's around 729. So the filter, or the canister filter, the capacity of the canister filter that you will buy is at least higher than 729 liters per hour. The higher the capacity, much better. For 100 gallons and above planted aquarium, you can use 2 or more canister filter. Just follow the computation that we provided earlier. Or you can also use an undersound filter. You can also use this for bigger tanks for monster fish. For the capacity of the submersible pump that you will be using, just follow the computation that we've given you earlier. Normally, for larger aquariums, you need to have at least 2 inlet on both sides because it is difficult for them to siphon or to collect the fish poop if the area is too wide. Overhead sump filter and trickle filter can also be used on monster fish. Just make sure that you will only use light materials as a filter media and don't use heavy types of filter media on those kinds of filter because the weight of that filter may break your aquarium. That is why it is much better if you can have a separate frame for the overhead sump filter or the trickle filter. Again, for the computation of the submersible pump capacity, it is also the same as mentioned before. I guess that is all the types of filter that we are using in the aquarium and fish keeping hobby. For pond filters, for that kind of filters, maybe we will do another filter topic for that, another video for that. I just don't know when, but we will do. Maybe someday. If I have forgotten some of the filters, kindly type it in the chat box so that other people will know. Again, your filter that you will be using will depend on the size of your aquarium, the design of your aquarium, and sometimes the type of fish that you want to keep. So if you like this video, kindly hit that like button and also share this to your friends who wants to enter the aquarium and fish keeping hobby. Click also the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you will always be updated for our latest uploads. Until then, enjoy the hobby.